Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is The Jeff Cowan coming to you from thejeffcowan.com with my podcast, Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, How to Make $100,000 a year or more. Now, if you're writing service and you're not making that amount of money, keep listening to me because I'm going to show you how to make that amount of money while at the same time having perfect survey scores, same time having customer retention above 85%, same time by not pushing, twisting arms, and selling stuff that doesn't need to be sold, but just being a professional service advisor. If you're watching this because you're thinking about becoming a service advisor, then you're watching the right place because this is a real opportunity, writing service and making that kind of money, and you don't even need a college degree to get it done. You got one, great. That's not going to hurt you, but it's certainly not a requirement. I know most of the people doing this today making that kind of money aren't college grads, so in the right place. Now, last week, let's jump into this. We were talking about customer retention, and I told you I'd be back this week with some solutions because we kind of set it up. And by the way, I got to pause here for a second because people were asking me when they wrote in and they called in, who's this little guy in the picture? Well, that is Willie. That is my grandson. And I just want to tell you this, if you've never had the opportunity to see the most handsome grandkid in the world, right there, now you can say you have. All right, so customer retention. Last week, we talked about the importance of customer retention and why it's important. We talked about how to get customer retention. I told you there were 5 things that really were important to that. Number 1, longevity. The longer your business is around and the longer you were around in that business, the better it was. We talked about price and how it doesn't matter. We talked about value, how you have to be able to deliver great value. We talked about how quality is important, and then we talked about reputation, and we discussed how reputation is probably the toughest one to guard because of smartphones and people's ability to get online and just basically rip you a new one, all right? Then we talked about companies that have customer retention. You know, we mentioned names like Disney, Macy's, Nordstrom's, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, Starbucks, Target, Walmart. I think I threw a few extra in like Nike, McDonald's, and some other places. There's a bunch of places. But at the end of it, I asked a very important question. That question was, how do these companies and others like them, how do they get customer retention, and why, more importantly, why do they have customer retention? And I told you the answer. The answer was, it's because they never stop selling who and what they are. Again, they never stop selling who and what they are. And then I identified the problem we have in the service industry and on the auto side of it is that we never start selling who and what we are. And I told you if you came back this week, I would share with you what I mean and how these people sell who and what they are. Let's take Ruth Chris for an example. I love to use them as an example because Ruth Chris, man, they are strong. 5-star steakhouse, very expensive place to go, by the way, but well worth it. Really not expensive. It's a great investment because it's a great time every time. 5-star experience, fine dining, right? They were one of the very few restaurants and the only 5-star chain that I know of that actually expanded in 2008, 2009, 2010. When other restaurants and businesses like them were contracting and even going out of business, they expanded, opened up more locations. So they're a perfect example for me to share with you what I mean. They never stop selling who and what they are. For those of you that have been to Ruth Chris Steakhouse before, I want you to remember back. There's a question that every server, waiter, is required to ask each table and each person at the table right after they introduce themselves. And I want you to think about it. Do you remember what that question was? Okay, they have to ask it every time, no matter how many times you go. The question was, have you ever been here before? So your server will walk up at a Ruth Chris restaurant, introduce themselves, welcome you to the restaurant, and then they will ask simply, have you ever been here before? Now there can be 50 people sitting at a table, 49 of them raise their hands and say, yes, I've been here before dozens of times, but if one person raises their hand and says, I haven't been here, the selling begins, because here's the little monologue they're going to deliver. I'm going to paraphrase it. Well, Mr. Customer, since you've never been to a Ruth Chris before and experienced our version of a fine dining experience, that's what you're about to experience tonight. We're literally a fine dining experience and the best in the business. I have another question, though, before I continue, and that is, do you have 2.5, if not up to 4 hours to spend with us this evening? It's important that you do because we're going to rush nothing. We're going to rush nothing because we're going to make sure that everything you order is prepared to your exact specifications. We're not going to rush anything because the ingredients we use demands that we take our time because we use the finest ingredients we can get our hands on. For example, our master chef was out with local growers within 50 miles of this restaurant today looking for and getting the freshest vegetables and fruits he could get his hands on again so you could experience a fine dining experience. Now you'll recognize where I refer to him as a master chef because that's exactly what he is. He's been a master chef for over 20 years, been at this location for 10 years. He's been trained and continues to be trained by the best from Tokyo, London, Paris, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and the like. As a matter of fact, he's so particular about the food you're going to have tonight that the beef you're going to be enjoying here shortly is so good that there's cows committing suicide to be on our menu. Now, that's right, I said cows committing suicide to be on your menu. Now, why would they tell you that? Because they want you to know what you're getting. They want you to know you're getting the best of the best from the best and the best. So when you get the bill at the end of the night for $160 a person, because that's what the average person will spend at a Ruth Chris, $160 per person, not per table, per person, the last thing they want to hear you say when you get that bill is, I could have gone to Costco and got the steak and fixed it at home. Oh, and for 20 bucks. Well, no, you couldn't. You could never fix it the way you do because they don't have the ovens. You don't have the experience they do. But they don't want to hear you say that. Instead, they want you to be so excited about what just happened, so excited and so thrilled that you become an advocate. What do I mean, an advocate? Next time there's a big event in your family, somebody's getting married, somebody's having a baby, somebody's graduating, big event, they want the conversation to go this way. Hey, honey, you know, this is a big event coming up, and I think we should take the entire family out and celebrate. I don't know about you, but I was thinking about maybe we get everybody together and go out to dinner. What do you do? Oh, good. You're thinking the same thing. Well, good. I was thinking we just step right up and go right over to Ruth Chris because they're. You don't want to go to Ruth Chris. You want to go to Red Lobster? Well, why Red? Well, no, honey. There's nothing wrong with Red Lobster, but why would you want to go to Red? Well, honey, I know you can get all the shrimp you want for free once you buy one of their steaks, but it's only about the size of a quarter, and who knows how long it's been in the freezer. Over at Ruth Chris, they're going to pull the shrimp right out of the water in front of you. It'll be as big as your fist. Well, honey, I know you can get a steak over there for $19.95, and it's a decent steak, but it's only about a half-inch thick, and again, who knows how long it's been in the freezer. Over at Ruth Chris, the cows are committing suicide to be on the menu, for crying out loud. So what happens there? You become an advocate because they never stop selling who and what they are. They got you so excited. They presented an experience that was second to none, 5-star, fine dining. You can't wait to go back because you know and you believe they have the best of the best. They have the best facilities, the best utensils, the best food, the best preparers, the best waiters, the best bartenders, the best chefs, the best of everything, so you can't wait to go back. So, how do you yourself sell yourself? Well, before I tell you that, I got to tell you about my sponsor first. It's Lightspeed VT out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Great state, great city. You're going to call them at 702-369-4260. Again, 702-369-4260. When you get them on the phone, you get to tell them, the Jeff Cowan told you to call because they will do something special. Now, what is it Lightspeed does? Lightspeed has a training platform, and they will take training that you have, and they'll create a platform and have all your logos on it, your pictures, whatever you want to look like it's yours, right? And they will take training that you've recorded, that you already have, and they will show you how to download it in there, divide it up into small videos that are watchable, and then how to put tests to it. So now instead of your people just watching your training, okay, just watching your training, they can watch it, be tested on it, so you not only know they watched it, but they passed the test and fully understand it, okay? And this thing has so many functions, it's unbelievable. You say, well, I would want more than my training, or I don't have training. That's easy. You know what they do? They've got the best of the best. They've got industry experts they can line you up with, like me. They can line you up with people like international bestsellers like Tony Robbins and Dave Anderson, Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, Grant Cardone, and the list goes on and on and on. Lightspeed VT, training isn't something you did, it's something you do. That's their motto. Give them a call, tell them I told you to call. So, what do I mean? What can I do to help you to be able to sell yourself? Well, let me share with you how I discovered this. There was a time in the auto industry, now this is from the dealership side, but it counts for everybody. There was a time in the auto industry when the longest warranty you get was 3 years, 36,000 miles. And at that time, it was discovered the average customer would leave a dealership because right around 32 to 33,000 miles. And the assumption was it was because the warranty ran out. Now, even I believe that. But here, you fast forward to today, we have an average warranty of 5 years, 60,000 miles, but guess when the average customer leaves the service department at a dealership? 32,000 miles. Now, nobody talks about it anymore, and I'm assuming because it no longer fits the story, but just because it doesn't fit the story doesn't mean it's not happening, because it is, okay? Because it is. Now, I, wondering why this is happening, went to several locations, called a few hundred customers, with the commonality being that they went to the same service center for 3 years, did every recommended maintenance and repair as requested, and then just disappeared. And I simply asked these people when I got them on the phone, where you went. And here's what they said. Well, it was at the 3-year mark that we got a letter from our dealership telling us that our car was of great value because we took care of it, and they needed it on their used car lot. There were a lot of people who wanted to buy it. That being the case, they would give us the ultimate amount of money they could for the car, while at the same time trading us into a brand new car similar to ours for about the same payment. We sat down, we thought about it, and after we thought about it, we decided that we were going to keep the car. Since we're going to keep the car, we thought to ourselves, do we need to keep going back to the dealership? Do we need to keep going back there where they're just okay, where they don't always do what they say they're going to do, where they charge more money, where they're not always on the up and up? Or would it be smarter to go to maybe a place like Pep Boys, Firestone, Goodyear's, or an independent, or whatever? Now, I don't have time to get into it, have done some research and found out people say the same thing about the independents and the other places. They get to a point and they wonder, am I being ripped off here? Something bad happens, and they split. So basically what your customer is telling you is they don't know that you're the best. And the reason they don't know you're the best, because you never told them. All right? Instead, like I said last week, you walk out there and go, hi, my name's Jeff and I write service. What do you need? And then they tell you, and you write it down, and you put their vehicle in the shop, you get that need taken care of, and you give them the car back and say, remember me next time, never telling them that the best technician worked on it, that you use the best parts, that you're the best and highly most skilled trained service advisor on the planet, working for the best company on the planet, no matter what that company is, an independent, a chain, or a dealership. You didn't tell them that, so guess what? They don't know, because you never sold yourself. So what am I talking about selling yourself? Check this out. Okay, now put your words in. If you're an independent or you're a chain store, then you just put your qualifications in. Let's take a service advisor. Let's say that you work at a dealership. Here's what you tell your customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, I appreciate you coming in today, and this being your first time working with me, let me explain to you why it's great that you chose me to work with and my company. Here's why. I want you to know I'm a factory-trained service advisor. I've been trained by the factory to work specifically with vehicles just like yours. I will work on more vehicles just like yours today than our competition will in the next 30 days combined. I've been trained to know what to look for, what to look at, and what questions to ask. This in turn allows me to make sure that when your vehicle enters our state-of-the-art shop, it will get to the right factory-trained technician, which will ensure that your vehicle will be worked on in the most efficient and economical way possible, saving you both time and money. That way, when we deliver your vehicle back to you, you can rest assured that it will be safe, reliable, and economically sound. And by the way, Mr. Customer, all of our technicians are factory-trained technicians, and what that means is they've been trained and continue to be trained by the manufacturer that originally built your vehicle. They're constantly updated and trained on what to look at, what to look for, and how to execute a repair in the quickest, most economical way possible, saving you both time and money. They will work on more vehicles like yours today that drive on the same roads in the same conditions that you do than our competition will in the next 30 days combined. They're literally experts and the best at what they do. And while they're doing it, every part that we use is factory designed and engineered. They were built by the same people who built your vehicle, which ensures that every part is a perfect fit. We use only factory designed and engineered parts because we know how they will perform and because they come with a full warranty from the manufacturer. In short, we only use the best because we feel both you and your vehicle deserve the best. Now they know you're the best. All right? And here's the great thing about this. You only have to say that one time, because once you say it one time, they'll remember it forever. So just say you're not a factory store. How do you say the same thing I just said? Mr. Customer, I want you to know that I'm an expertly trained service advisor. I've been trained and continue to be trained to work on vehicles specifically just like yours. I will work with more vehicles just like yours today than our competition, and a variety of vehicles than our competition will in the next 30 days combined. I've been trained to know what to look for, what to look at, and what questions to ask. This in turn allows me to make sure that when your vehicle enters our state-of-the-art shop, it will get to the right expertly trained technician, which will ensure that your vehicle will be worked on in the most efficient and economical way possible, saving you both time and money. That way, when we deliver your vehicle back to you, you can rest assured that it will be safe, reliable, and economically sound. And by the way, Mr. Customer, all of our technicians are expertly trained technicians. If you have a certification, tell them what it is. They're constantly updated and trained on what to look at, what to look for, and how to execute a repair in the quickest, most economical way possible, saving you both time and money. They will work on more vehicles like yours today, in a variety of a vehicle, a larger variety of vehicles today that drive on the same roads and same conditions than our competition will in the next 30 days combined. By working on a variety of vehicles, they're able to see things that others just can't see. They're literally the experts and the best at what they do, and that's who will be working on your vehicle. And Mr. Customer, while they're working on your vehicle, every part that we use is blank designed and engineered. They were built by people who understand your vehicle, are experts with your vehicle, and know how to build a part that is a perfect fit that comes with a warranty. We choose to use these parts because we know how they're made, we stand behind them, and we find that they're the best for the average vehicle on the road today, Mr. Customer. That's what I'm talking about. Now they know who you are. And folks, let me share something with you. As corny as this sounds, it's nothing new. You fall for the very same thing when you go out and you buy product. I mean, let's take Starbucks. You don't go to Starbucks just because you have people making coffee. They have people over at Denny's making coffee. But you go to an expert, you go to baristas. Ooh, a barista. You ever seen a barista pour a cup of coffee? Man, they do it like nobody else can. They grab a hold of that cup of coffee with just the right amount of pressure. They pick up that pot of coffee and they put it just 6 inches above that cup and pour it in so you can see the daylight shine through it and sparkle as it does. They top it off just right and then securely fasten that lid on and then hold it up for you and the whole world to see. Announce your name. It's written on the side. Jeff, your latte is ready. And you walk up there with your chest puffed out and your smile on your face and walk away with that cup slightly up in the air, showing the world that you can afford a $5 cup of coffee. That's not only a cup of coffee, but it's the best cup of coffee. We fall for the same stuff. Apple's another example. They don't have customer service. They have a Genius Bar. Ooh, Genius Bar. Remember how excited we get? And the more nerdy these people look, the smarter we think they are. Now here's what cracks me up about the Genius Bar. My stepson worked his way through college working at the Genius Bar in an Apple store, and here's why this cracks me up. I live with the kid. He ain't a genius. He knows how to program a phone, but we fall for it. And once they told us we never had to tell us again, we go in because we believe we're getting the best because they constantly at Starbucks, Disney, Nordstrom's, and all those places, they always tell you the best, and you do too. You should too. But I get people who've done this job for a number of years, and they say, Jeff, I've written service for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. How do I tell people all of a sudden that I'm an expert with what I just shared with you? Preface it with this, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you've been coming in here for 10 years because of great customers like yourself. We position ourselves to be sold out every day. I don't know if you realize it, but every day there's 20, 30, 50, whatever the number is, always impresses them. 30 cars come across this service drive every day, effectively selling us out. Over the last several years when we were sold out, we noticed we were getting sloppy with your time and your resources, and we didn't like that. So we went back to school, we got ourselves educated, we got ourselves certified, and I can now tell you that I'm an expertly trained service advisor, and I continue to be trained. And we made the commitment to never stop training. We train at least once a week, and I want you to know that. And here's the great thing about those. Just like at Starbucks, they had to tell you what a barista was once, and then when you use a barista, you know what it is. At Apple, they had to tell you they had a Genius Bar once. Once they explain what that was, all they have to do is bring up that term and you know what it is. And by you explaining this one time to your customers, they'll always know if you continue to use the words. Now, you come back next week and I will show you, we'll wrap this up, I will show you exactly how to use those words, the factory trained and expertly trained. So with that, my name's Jeff Cowan, and here's what I want you to do between now and next week when we wrap this up, this customer retention thing for now. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to make it an outstanding week because you can bet that me and my great, handsome grandkid right there, Willie, me and him are going to make it a great day. We got some big plans this week, Willie and I. We're going to go out and do some holiday shopping for everybody. So with that, make it a great day.